Someone in my comments asked me if I could make Hatsune Miku in D&D, and while the idea of making an entirely digital character who sings and has very long hair is one that might scare you, dear viewer, it does not scare me, because nothing scares me. I have seen Into the Void. I know what comes next. While there are lots of different singers in the world, Hatsune Miku is arguably one of the most popular and one of the most well-known, as this Vocaloid has had quite the cultural impact, and is also not AI, although she might be by now. I don't know. I'm kind of out of touch with this. Hello, my name is Jason, and this is the Dungeon Himbo, where I make silly D&D builds of characters that you like. I do reviews of third-party products and anything else that comes to D&D and beyond. And I do videos like why you should eat your players. The characters, not the players. Don't eat them. They probably taste bad. Anyway, who is Hatsune Miku? Hatsune Miku is a Vocaloid, a digital singer, not to be confused with an AI one, because this one actually requires people to commit and put effort into it. She is essentially a mascot of the Yamaha Corporation's Vocaloid software, but despite being rather corporate, is a very big deal. She's a virtual idol with long turquoise hair and 0 powers outside of being able to fill up a stadium, never get sick, and work all the time. Also, she's in basically everything ever, including Magic the Gathering. So how do we put all of that into D&D? The answer may surprise you. We are going for a support build here. I do not think Hatsune Miku would deal damage, but she might ask other people to do it for her, which means that I'm not doing damage check-ins, so we can skip numbers. That's always nice, isn't it? For our background, we are going for the entertainer background, of course. We get acrobatics and performance here, along with one tool proficiency, which I've taken the fiddle, and then I've taken the viol, drum, and harp because of the musician feat as well, which also allows us to give out heroic inspiration on a short or long rest. We're also going to boost our dex by 1 and our charisma by 2 because we will be maining charisma, unsurprisingly. The species options here, man, there was some really interesting ones. I think Warforged and Mannequin, both constructs, and they fit the idea of a physical form for this Vocaloid character, right? However, I like the idea of this character only semi-being here, and while the Disembodied from Grim Hollow fits that, I think the Etherean fits it even better. This is from Griffin's Saddlebag, and the whole vibe of these characters is that they exist on the ethereal plane mostly, which means that they can not only see into the ethereal plane, thanks to their misty sight, which also lets them see invisible creatures as well, which is amazing, but it also gives them Veil Shift, which lets you just hop onto the ethereal plane once per long rest. I feel like this fits really nicely with the idea of a hologram character, which is why I went with this species. Our starting stats are going to be 8 in strength, 16 in dex, 15 in con, 8 in intelligence, 8 in wisdom, and 17 in charisma, because we are, unsurprisingly, going for a bard. We get a few things with a bard. We get 3 skill proficiencies. I've gone for deception, persuasion, and intimidation, so we're good at all the charisma things at this point, and 3 more instruments. That's right, we know 7 instruments, which is too many. Too damn many. We also get bardic inspiration, which allows us to, as a bonus action, give a dice to a creature that they can use later on to help them beat a d20 test. Get a number of uses of this equal to our charisma modifier, and we regain all uses on a long rest for now. It also goes up at 5, 10, and 15. For our spells, this is all the spells we will have by the end of the build. I am taking Illusory Instrument as one of our cantrips, which allows us to make a magical instrument, which further fits the build, I think. It moves as its counterpart would, but it's only tangible to you, and it can be used as a spellcasting focus. It lasts for 10 minutes, and you can do things like mimic sounds, automatically play a basic beat from it, which means that you can set up a background musician if you need to, and even record things and play it back. I'm also going to take the Jolt cantrip because you can't send a character into battle without any damage options, and Jolt is great. There's a cantrip that does lightning damage, and you can also turn on machines with it. I don't know how many machines there are going to be in your world, but if there are any, this can help. For our spells, I am going to recommend Command so that you can tell people what to do. You are rather charming, of course. Healing Word, because it's a word and it lets you heal. Insidious Rhythm from the D&D Beyond drops lets you force a creature basically to have a song in its head, which feels very, very fitting. And it gives them disadvantage on intelligence checks and on con saves to maintain concentration. It's just funny. And sleep, because lullabies exist. As I said, I'm mostly going for support stuff here. Level 2, we get expertise. I recommend performance and acrobatics as they feel like they are the most fitting. And we also get Jack of all trades. This lets us add half our proficiency bonus to any skills we are not proficient in, although we do have a lot of proficiencies because we are a bard. I'm also going to take the rumor spell here, which allows us to start a rumor basically in a massive area which can affect people's views of different things, but negatively or positively, which can be a lot of fun to play around with. Level 3, we are going for our subclass, and we are going for the subclass formerly known as the College of Dance, which is the College of Choreography from Griffin's Saddlebag. This is a subclass all about movement and inspiring people. As such, it boosts your movement by 10 feet to begin with, and which goes up by another 5 feet at level 6 and 14, which is fantastic. It also gives you inspirational dance, which as a bonus action allows you to use a bardic inspiration of your own in order to reinvigorate a creature of your choice. You roll the bardic inspiration die, and a creature named temp health equal to the number roll plus your charisma modifier. Along with that, it can use its reaction as it receives this to move up to its speed without provoking opportunity attacks, or it can take the dodge action. The dodge action is usually going to be better, but both of these are pretty good. We also get second level spells here. I recommend taking Harrowing Ballad. This is a song, so it fits. It inflicts a mind-eroding song on a creature you can see within range. They have to make an intelligence save or become charmed, and while charmed, they're struck with the beauty of this song. It takes 1d6 at the start of each of its turns and has disadvantage on perception checks and on con saves to maintain concentration. It repeats the save at the end of each of its turns. It's a solid spell, and it does a little bit of damage, which is always nice. Level 4, I'm going to stick to the spell here while we're here. I'm going to take Infectious Skull. This is from the Northlands World book. You sing a boisterous drinking song that compels others to stop what they're doing and sing along. A creature that you can hear within spell's range must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed until the spell ends. While the creature's charmed, it's friendly towards you and it takes no actions other than to sing along with the song. For the duration of the song, you may use a bonus action to target a new creature within 30 feet of you or another creature singing the song. You can affect a total number of creatures equal to your spellcasting modifier at any one time, adding them progressively over the course of the spell. Again, wisdom save or become charmed, and if any of the singers other than you is attacked during the song, stops with a loud discordant note. It's just a great way of taking different combatants out of the fight. I like it a lot. We also get our first feature at level 4, of course. We're going to be taking Field Commander, which lets us use our action to command an ally within 60 feet of you to take its reaction in order to attack, dash, dodge, hide, influence, search, study, or utilize. It also stops creatures having advantage against you on attacks as long as you're near and 2 or more allies, which is unlikely to happen a lot, but it's a nice thing to have. This boosts our charisma up to 18 as well. Level 5, we get Font of Inspiration. This allows us to get our bardic inspirations back on a short rest, and we can also expend spell slots to get our bardics back as well, and it also gives us level 3 spells. I recommend Mass Healing Word for lots of healing, and Enrage, which allows you to stir up the negative emotions in a group within a 20-foot radius sphere. So be careful not to target your friends by accident. You don't want to accidentally make them angry. Everyone in that sphere has to make a charisma save, or they can fail on purpose if they'd like. They become real angry for the duration of the spell, otherwise they become hostile towards all other creatures. If a creature is concentrating on a spell, it has to succeed on a DC 10 con save at the start of each of its turns or lose concentration. And as an action, you can force an enraged creature to use its reaction to make a melee weapon attack against one randomly determined creature within the enraged creature's range. If the enraged creature was friendly towards the target before this spell was cast, the enraged creature can repeat the spell to try and save after the attack. It's cool! It makes people angry, and I just think it's fun for that fervour that you get at big stadiums. Speaking of fervour, I just want to give a huge thank you to my YouTube members and my Patreon members as well. I appreciate you all. You make doing this a little bit easier, as I do smash out 2 videos a week, which requires a fair bit more time as I'm trying to put more effort into them. So thank you very much. Also, if you like the video, subscribe and you can join the Discord too. Level 6, I recommend picking up Hypnotic Pattern as the spell here. This allows us to create a twisting pattern of colours in order to charm creatures, incapacitating them, reducing their speed to 0. It's one of the strongest spells in the game, so take it. Also at level 6, we get Entrancing Movement. When a creature hits you with an opportunity attack or hits you with an attack roll while you're benefiting from the dodge act, a creature takes psychic damage equal to your charisma modifier plus half your bard level rounded down. In addition, you always have Charm Person prepared, and you can cast it without a verbal component. With this feature, you can cast it without expending a spell slot, and when you do so, it's cast as a level 3 spell. The targets don't make their saves with advantage as a result of you or your allies fighting them, but you can only do this once per long rest. It just makes you better at charming people. Level 7, we get 4th level spells, as well as Counter Charm, which is good now, which allows you to help someone avoid being charmed or frightened, basically. Our 3rd level spells... Oh no, I already did Hypnotic Pattern. Am I just distracted? 4th level spells. I recommend Ode to Wrath. This allows you to create an emanation from yourself, while in the aura, you and your allies deal extra damage to rolls with any melee weapons equal to your spellcasting modifier. So you're adding 4 more damage to all of your allies' attacks, basically, which can be really, really powerful, although probably not as good as just disabling someone. Level 8, I recommend taking Song of the Shield Wall as your other 4th level spell. This lets you give creatures a +2 bonus to their AC in an emanation. Hard to argue with that. You also can boost the AC if you upcast it, which is wonderful. We also get another ASI or feat. We will be taking Inspiring Leader here, which allows you to boost your charisma to 19 in our case, and during a short or long rest, we can give a speech, which allows us to give temp health equal to your character level, plus the modifier you increased with this feat, which at this point is 12. Nice to give 12 temp health out to a bunch of creatures. Level 9, we get more expertise, because you can never be too good at stuff as a bard. We also get level 5 spells. I like Incite Riot here, which is a similar kind of thing to the Enrage. Each creature you choose within 30 feet of you has to make a wisdom saving throw. It does so with advantage if your allies are fighting it, and on a failed save, the target becomes charmed until your allies damage it. The charmed creature is friendly to you and your allies, and it has to use its action to make unarmed strikes against the nearest creature other than your allies, or use its turn to move towards the nearest target. It's like, I like messing with people. These spells fit nicely. And then we've got Geesh, I think is pronounced, which allows you to just take control of someone. It's normal stuff. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Bards are fine. Level 10, we get Magical Secrets, which lets us just take any spell we want. I'm not going to go over the spells we've already picked up and change those. I'm just going to be using this going forward for my sanity more than anything else. Plus, we've taken all the bardy spells anyway. I don't want to change that up too much. I recommend picking up Prestidigitation as your next cantrip, as you get one here. And I really like Radiant Beacon as the spell here, which is from the Book of Ebon Tides. I like this as a spotlight of sorts, right? A pillar of light falls from the air, filling the square you are in, and an area within 5 feet of you. Each creature in the area must make a con saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 48 radiant damage and is blinded until the start of your next turn. For the duration, the radiance moves around with you, sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light in 20 foot. The light is sunlight. It's just cool. I like it. Speaking of spotlights, at level 11 we get 6th level spells, and I'm going to choose Sunbeam for the same reason. This time though, we're shooting the spotlight out of our hands. Normal stuff. I think you can all agree, which allows you to make every creature in the line 5 foot wide, 60 foot long. Make a con save. On a failed save, they take 68 radiant and they become blinded until the start of the next turn. You can also take a magic action on each of your turns for up to a minute to create a new line of radiance, basically recasting the spell. It's a really good spell, actually, and it's just from the player's handbook, so congrats to the player's handbook. Level 12, we are going to take the good but rather boring Warcaster to give us advantage on our con saves and also boost our charisma up to 20. We can also cast spells as a reaction now. Level 13, we get level 7 spells. I like Project Image here because you get to create an illusory copy of yourself which can do a bunch of stuff. You can see through its eyes and hear through its ears, and you can move it as a magic action and make it move as well. It's definitely an illusion, but it's a nice thing to have, and I think it fits really, really well with the idea of being a hologram yourself. Level 14, we get Endless Dance. This makes it so that when a creature would gain temporary health from your Inspirational Dance feature, it can instead choose to take a reaction to make an attack using a weapon or unarmed strike. In addition, your Endless Dancing allows you to more easily avoid being hit. You can take the dodge action as a bonus action, which is great. And whenever you take the bonus action to expend a Bardic Inspiration die, you can also dodge at the same time. This just makes us really hard to hit, which is good, because we don't want to get hit. We're a bard. Level 15, we get to 8th level spells. Glibness is a perfect spell. Also, Holy Star of Mystra is the one we're going to be taking. These, again, spotlights. You can yeet them at people to do 4d10 radiant damage, and it also gives you 3/4 cover, and you can reflect spells back at whoever's targeting you with them as well. It's really strong. Level 16, I'm going to go for Resilient Con here to get our con to a nice round 16 and also make us even better at succeeding on the saves. Level 17, we get our 9th level spells. I recommend Psychic Scream. It's from Xanathar's Guide. It's not even third party. You can blast the intellect of up to 10 creatures of your choice you can see within range. Each target must make an intelligence saving throw, which are very good to target because creatures are bad at them. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage, the damage here being 14d6 damage, and on a failed save, they also become stunned. If a target is killed by this, their head goes boom. assuming they have a head. It's just really, really good. Level 18, I'm going to go back and pick up Power Word Fortify because the power words are good. I recommend it. We also get Superior Inspiration, which lets us have at least 2 Bardic Inspiration die whenever we roll initiative. Level 19, I'm going to go for a Spoon of Spell Recall, which allows us to boost our Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma. We're going to do Charisma, of course. And when we cast a spell with a level 1 to 4 spell slot, you roll a d4. If you roll the same number on the d4 that you cast the spell at, you just get to keep the spell slot. So it's like a 25% chance of a refund on any of those spells, which is amazing. I also recommend picking up Glibness here. This is where you would pick Glibness up in the run of things. And at level 20, not only do I recommend taking Wish, because obviously, but we get Words of Creation, which lets us always have Power Word Heal and Power Word Kill prepared, and if you cast either of these, you can target a second creature as long as the creature is within 10 feet of the first target. You can do this as many times as you want, but the spells obviously cast a spell slot still. So that is Miku. I don't mind doing support builds, but I don't like that I haven't figured out a really good way to figure out the numbers for them yet. That's a me problem though. But I hope that you enjoyed this. I quite enjoyed making it. I like making the build. I just don't enjoy, I don't know. I like numbers, man. I'm neurodivergent. Can't blame me for that. Anyway, I hope that you are well and you continue to do well. I hope that you take care of yourself. I hope that you check out either of these 2 videos, which are now on your screen, and I will see you whenever it is I next see you. Goodbye.